All right, get up. Okay.
That's so dumb.
Okay.
It becomes like a thing we have to do. Come on, let's make that tradition.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sean Cannery edition of the Friendlyjordies podcast, episode 26. Your boy Robbie here, got Tom in the studio.
Hello.
And
Jordan, here to report that we have a new warm-up segment now. We're not going to be spinning a pen around in a circle and hoping that it lands vaguely in someone's direction before spinning it again, going, it's more in your direction, no, it's more in your direction. We're all in this together. As the song goes, and I can't remember what band it was. We were all sitting in a lying down in a circle in that little space in the FBI studio there, sitting on top of each other's stomachs, because Robbie learned from some ancient Indian Hindu guru that if you sit on top of each other's stomachs and start to laugh, the laughter will become contagious. Doesn't work, but it's now a solid tradition of the Friendlyjordies podcast.
It worked.
Mark the time, it's the
Yeah.
26th episode that this began.
We were all laughing, but it was more of a just how silly this is kind of laugh.
And what? But I mean, a laugh's a laugh, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, the knowledge of Indian gurus goes throughout thousands of years and is still as true as it was back then.
Yeah, Deepak Chopra.
Yeah, that's... No one knows who he is. Now, what are we doing on the Jean-Claude Van Can edition?
That's the Sean Cannery
That's
edition.
right. That was second option. Now you know both of them. Which one do you think's better? Write in the comments box. What do you want, Tom?
So this is one of the more weak weeks of the theming, where we've just themed the week things that can is the word of the week. Where every segment is in some way, can someone do this? So we've got heaps and heaps of segments, so we're going to have to run through them as quick as we can.
Yeah, we're going to find out what we
Yes.
can and can't do
That's
this
it.
week.
Can we do this?
So the first segment is, can we convince Robbie The Simpsons is awesome? So
Tough ask.
So basically, because we've been talking about this, I think almost every pod for pods in a row is trying to convince Robbie that he hates The Simpsons, and him retorting back saying, no, I don't hate it, I just don't like it.
why don't you like it, Robbie?
As I've said, like, again, yeah, multiple times now, it's just a case
Why do you
of-
hate it?
I just don't laugh at it really that much, which, I don't know, I reckon you guys don't laugh as much as you say you do. I haven't actually watched it with you, but I
Yeah,
reckon
I'm
you
always
do.
laughing. I love that show.
All right, well, I'm not sure. I just don't really laugh that much. So, but you sort of respect where it was in the past and sort of what it's influenced and things like that. But
It's definitely a nostalgic laugh for a lot of it. You're right.
No, it's not. It's non-stop laughs. It's still great after... I'm sure I've seen episodes 300 times. I've seen episodes of The Simpsons more than I've seen my grandma, and my grandma's probably going to die soon. You know what I mean? Like, just,
You know what I mean?
it was a good time spent. I don't regret a single minute
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
of that time that I spent on The Simpsons.
well, I don't know. We just definitely have
So
different.
do you think that you spent more time with your grandma? You obviously have spent more time with your grandma than The Simpsons, but that is
I
what
have.
has replaced The Simpsons for Robbie, as he just showed us a picture that he was very proud of him in a Crocodile Dundee hat with his grandma, who was also in some kind of Texan square dancing hat, and they were sitting on a couch together,
Sharing wine.
sharing wine.
Yeah. Well, she came over from Auckland. It was very
Oh,
nice to
that's
see her. Yeah, it was lovely. It was a lovely time, actually.
At the same time, wasted time. You could have been watching The Simpsons, and this is why we're going to convince you now.
And we're going to do this for weeks until you like this segment.
So, anybody who has a joke of The Simpsons that they like, and I know that you are far and few, you fans. Interesting point of The Simpsons. It's supposed to be our version of World War II. You know how people that now kind of, they've got fake bladders and stuff. They're just very old people that were in World War II. But they have this bond, this eternal bond of going, you're in the 41st? No, I was in the 32nd Battalion. Close enough.
Yeah, like for decades, it's always been like, whoa, what war were you in? Like Korea or Vietnam or World War II or whatever it is. Our one is The Simpsons.
Yep.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
That's great that society has progressed that far from generation wiping out wars to laughs.
Yeah. And Robbie, you're not a part of this generation.
Yeah, you were the people in New Caledonia going, there was a world war?
So sheltered as a child. Were you one of those kids that wasn't allowed to watch TV or watch The Simpsons because it was too rude?
I definitely was. Yeah, my mum was very much opposed to like South Park and actually probably The Simpsons in some ways.
I never got why The Simpsons. Like, I've learnt so much stuff from that show. It's such a bizarre thing. What did you do instead? What would you watch?
What did I watch?
I bet he watched Seventh Heaven.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
No.
The one that now has been exposed that he like made a little girl touch his penis, and
Yeah.
your family thought that was more wholesome than The Simpsons.
Yeah.
You weirdos.
I watched like the equivalent of Letters and
So
Numbers. You know, Letters and Numbers.
Yeah.
I used to get up at 6 before school and watch that. And
That show.
yeah, like every morning. I
With
used-
Lily. Lily's the girl.
No, the English version of it. So it was,
yeah.
so I used to watch that and,
Great.
yeah, that was it basically. So that's what I had.
That's fantastic.
You
I
want to
was
say something about your
thinking there
sister?
the whole time. This is really shit radio. Can we please get back to talking about another television show?
A lot of them this episode. Yeah.
There is a lot. Please stay tuned. All right, so here's what's going to happen. We're going to relay a piece of television to Robbie, and you're going to listen to that of us talking about a Simpsons joke, and then Robbie's going to either like it or don't like it, and then if he doesn't like it, he's going to give us the socks of punishment, which are the socks on his feet that we're going to have to smell for the rest of the next segment. But you forgot about that, didn't you, Tom? But I
I
didn't, because I'm
completely
kind of
forgot.
looking forward to it. I'm curious as to how bad Robbie's socks smell or not. Because
Yeah, I am as well. Those hipster socks. They're like these, you know how a lot lot of people you see now, these hipsters that wear, like, these hipsters that wear these,
You
like,
can,
long...
you wear a brand of sock called Odd Socks that
Odd
specifically
pears with a pear
pears.
as the logo, like of the fruit.
And isn't it spelt pear? Is it
Pear.
It's spelt that as well.
Yeah, and it comes in 3s. 3 socks, because you might lose one. Yeah.
Can you continue listening? That's the thing for the audience
that's
right
the
now.
question
isn't it?
that
That's
everyone's
the
asking
segment for the
themselves.
audience to get involved in. Can
Yeah.
you? Yeah. All right.
All right, so the episode that we're telling you, Robbie, is the episode where, to set the scene, the Simpsons family go to... What? Is it Itchy and Scratchy Land?
That's the one where nothing can possibly go wrong. Possibly go wrong. First thing that ever went wrong. Got you straight out of the bat.
he laughed.
We got one. You've already got one giggle.
Yeah, because
So you think it's great?
It wasn't a Simpsons joke.
Yeah,
was
it's in the...
It was a Simpsons joke.
It was a Simpsons
We just
joke.
got it straight out. Sucked in, Robbie.
There it is. There it is. We
Stop pretending. Love a seventh heaven, you weirdo.
Yes, stop pretending, Robbie.
You love Hawaii, more like you love The Simpsons. Sorry, his shirt has I Love Hawaii on it for everybody in the studio. Got to remember, this is not a visual medium. That wasn't even the joke. We've got a better joke from that episode than Robbie.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Are we going to call it a win there?
It's a
is
good
that
joke.
the end of the
Yeah,
segment?
I think that is it. You loved
10
it.
minutes of talking about how good The Simpsons was to get to the actual game, but the game lasted shorter than last week when you tried to get them to pay attention to you when you took your shirt off, and as soon as you did, the hipsters turned around and went, "Oh my god, he's not wearing anything cool anymore."
Oh my gosh, Robbie, we were prepared to do that for weeks.
I wanted to get all the audience in on it too, so we could read out some of their favourite jokes.
Yeah, forget about it now. We don't need
We've
it.
got none of that, but
Honestly,
we will
I do
say...
want to hear it.
Yeah, actually, I do want to hear it as well. Keep it going. All right,
we'll do it again next week.
Okay, instead of can we make Robbie laugh, it's just making Robbie laugh with The Simpsons,
Yeah,
bringing him
just
up to
rubbing it in.
speed. Yep.
Yeah.
Instead of having to listen and watch 9 seasons in a row, we can just give him a real condensed version of the bish bitch.
Yeah.
Much like your favourite radio team that goes on holiday soon, and listen to that, because unfortunately that'll be happening to us, and you're all invited, guys. We're not going to say where, but we're all going on a trip. Now.
All right, we're moving on to something that Robbie does like.
Oh,
which
sorry.
are-
Also, very big thank you to the 2 people that drew Robbie as a Simpsons character with
there
very
a second?
pathetic...
Nice.
Yes, somebody inboxed me. Don't remember their name, but you know who you are. Nobody else does because he inboxed me. So, but good on you for doing it. 2 of you did it, and they did look a lot like if Robbie was in The Simpsons. So you did what you set out to do, and you wrote great, pathetic, lovable comments such as, "Please like The Simpsons, Robbie."
Robbie.
Well, I guess I
Charming
do
as
now. I
you
laughed, didn't I? So congratulations. Yeah, no, those are cool drawings.
Okay,
It was a real proud dad laugh, like when your kid draws a little macaroni picture and you put it on the fridge and you go, this is great.
Yeah.
So I guess he just sort of knew instinctively that it was a Simpsons joke, and so when he heard that, he goes, no, it's funny, guys. It's funny.
All right. So for people that don't know, Robbie is the admin on the recently started Friendlyjordies Instagram, and he is leading the front of making the dankest memes possible.
On the van dank, as he... I don't think he described it. I think I just made it up myself.
Yeah.
I like to think I'm on the cusp of dank. Yeah.
So the example Robbie was giving before was that it's a very dank memeage is to put a pack of Doritos in a meme. So Robbie's taking it to the next level of dank by using grainwave packets instead of Doritos.
Subverting common dank tropes. That's what I'm
So,
about.
Sour cream and
Question
onion, am I
is-
mistaken?
Can you explain what is dank?
I think, the term...
This is great because every week we are always explaining something political or something scientific. Robbie is just explaining a word that is not in a dictionary. That is his expertise.
it's an urban dictionary, I think.
It's a dictionary.
You would
fair
know,
enough.
yeah,
It's-
Dank, I think, traditionally is used as a term to sort of describe the potency of marijuana or something like that. But and I suppose that definition kind of bleeds into.
When you learn in Oxford Dictionary when it has the French origin from the 1692 word le monde or something like that.
Yeah.
The origin
Yeah, the
to
pungent
describe
smell of-
particularly potent weed.
And I think I think it kind of just alludes to essentially stoned imagery, I guess, with on the cusp of kind of incoherence, I suppose, would be a good way to describe it. Sort of.
So give an example of a dank meme. What's the dankest meme you've ever seen?
Oh man, there's.
What made you think Action Man John Claude Van Dank?
Yeah, what brought that to your
I
mind?
think when memes
Van Dank, I should have said it, damn it.
other common tropes of dank memeage are the kind of like MLG sort of
Major League Gaming.
Yes,
The wrecked videos.
Yeah, wrecked videos are they are dank. One of the I really like it when memes have sort of rarity attached to them, sort of in their descriptions.
That's
I think
right.
I mean it makes like zero sense. So when I see that, my friend showed me recently this list of these. Pepe the Frog is a popular meme. He's this frog, and he's displayed.
Is he the sad one?
He's sad. Yeah.
Poorly drawn.
What is the
sad
deal with
frog.
this sad frog?
Pepe the frog?
Pepe. I don't know. I don't really know much about him, but
Wow. And you're on the vanguard of dank.
Yeah.
And you don't even know.
I don't think anybody does. That's the best bit about it.
Why is this a
but
thing
the best
about
bit
me?
about
So
Pepe-
I'm not alone in this. Most people just sit there laughing and go, "Oh, I get it. Oh, yeah, don't you see?"
I think
Share
that's
it."
all
It's just a
dank
funny image.
memes. It seems like no one gets the origin of any of it, but it's just kind of there isn't a specific origin to a lot of it. I think, or at least I don't know.
Internet culture is sort of difficult to trace in that way, isn't it? But,
Yeah.
We should have definitely asked for this segment, and I think we'll have to do an interview with none other than one of the founding forefathers. He must be the Benjamin Franklin of meme culture.
The Poop
Steve
And yeah.
420.
Yeah,
We're doing
yeah.
a collaboration with that guy to try and get you guys to buy carbon neutral energy.
Yeah, we're doing a
so
video
good that
with
Poop
him.
Steve, his whole life, really all he does is get sound of ghetto black people rapping, and then they make an incredibly impressive rap, and then they all go, "Oh, oh!" He just puts that over the front of a bunch of quick snipes from COD on top of footage and makes it go shaky, and that's how he's made his entire subscriber base. But he's really passionate about renewable energy as well.
Yeah, Poop Steve would know this stuff. I was asking him, what he's into or whatever. He's like, yeah, there's a real resurgence in nomcore memeage at the moment. And I have no idea what he's talking
Nomcore.
about. Nomcore.
Yeah.
What's that, Robbie?
That's great. It's like in 20 years' time.
Ozcore.
Yeah, he doesn't have a job now, and he won't for decades, but he will be the professor at COFA that sits there going like, okay, so what's postmodernism? Wrong answer.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what it is.
Pepe the Frog. Yeah, we saw Diamond Pepe last night, which is the rarest Pepe there is.
That was a really good example of that rarity.
It's Pepe just with like a diamond kind of fill inside Pepe. And it's just ridiculous because memes can't be rare or they're not memes. It's like you can make the rarest meme yourself.
That's why they're great. I think they're fantastic.
Well, that was a really nice summary of what was explained probably 5 minutes ago of the pod, what dank was. He summed it up really well when he said that dank is kind of just stoned imagery, and then we kept talking about it for 10 minutes after that.
I love how clean this pod feels. Like, Robbie, you're so, like, that was so, like, we properly talked about what dank is just then.
I know, we're all...
At the same time that
Very
Poop
calm.
Steve is the head of COFA, not even just the professor of meme culture. He is the vice chancellor of COFA University.
Yeah, this is such
At that same time,
serious
we
chat.
will be taking Philip Adams's role, sitting talking about society and how degenerate it is.
Yeah, we're talking dank today.
We are, like...
Everybody at that time is just drinking Slurpees instead of water. You just
we actually just, instead of talking about Rome, we're talking about dank.
we're talking about dank, and that's all the same. But you
Same
could just
vibe.
really replace Philip Adams. The only thing that is the same in all that will be in 20 years, the only thing that's the same is Philip Adams' theme music with that. It's really hard note. Everything else is a strange new world. We're talking into pigs that have 3 bottoms as a little microphone here, and you can spank it and it'll go. That's one of the sound effects.
All right, next segment is going to get way more dark.
Can we skip this, please? You know that this is a stupid idea. Thank you very much, everybody, for allowing us to air whatever we want. And even though you listen to it, all you've ever really said is that you're big fans, except for that one time when you thought we broke a microphone. And we'd like to stress at this point, we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't break anything. And also last week, we'd like to apologise for going over time, and we feel really bad.
Yeah, so we feel really sorry about that. And now that we've just got this real somber note going, Tom, now that I've distracted you from that, what is the segment after the segment that you were about to announce, so we don't have to talk about it?
Jordan,
Which do you
This is an
prefer,
awful idea.
Jordan? Incest or... Hi, this is Robbie. Unfortunately, we've had to remove that last segment due to its offensive nature. Instead, here's the recording of us at Sizzlers burning Tom's mouth on a burger. I'd also like to apologise in advance for some of the audio quality in this segment. Although my equipment looked professional, it is actually pretty shit.
Robbie, I can tell by your tonality of mine as well. This is really like a very scary situation. These are not our people. We don't belong here. There's a lot of obese people. There's a lot of ethnic families down on their luck. And Tanya Plibersek is behind us. I mean, it's clearly not, but close enough. She's the member for Sydney is in far, far outer Sydney with a very clearly what is not her family. I'm certain she doesn't have 5 children.
all of different ethnicities. Robbie's got out individual microphones. He's wearing a headset. Like, the production quality's too high for this. He just needed like an iPhone.
And he looks like such a paid professional as well. The fact that he's wearing an I Love Hawaii t-shirt. There is no mistaking it. He is a techie. He's professionally paid. He did not ask for permission to do this to any of the staff at all. That's half of the reason why I'm scared. The other half is just the clientele.
You can tell he regrets bringing this much stuff because he looks so scared right now. He's like whispering into the mic.
And to be honest, so are we. Everyone is quivering. And the food has arrived. And Tom, can you please put the burger down? I know that you're very hungry, but seriously, have a little bit of self-control and dignity, because you just have to wait 2 minutes.
He got a burger. He was supposed to get a steak, medium rare steak, but...
Tom, what's your response to that?
Yeah, why'd you do that?
Do you remember that you were supposed to get it and you got it regardless?
Well, I just forgot about it, and the petition wasn't even fully signed, so I don't think I should even be doing this.
Good point. It's at 10% of what it needed, but we thought that that's close enough. Would you like to take a bite?
Yep.
Let's see if your tongue
Let's see you
burns,
burn your
and
tongue.
we sincerely hope it does. Oh, he's sarcastically saying that his tongue burned. It probably didn't at all.
Yeah, he looks
This
like he
is
just...
a real highlight of the pod. You are listening to Tom eat a burger. And we've got all of this really expensive recording, travel equipment, and for that.
Yeah, thanks to Sizzlers for their support in this week's podcast.
Yeah, thanks to Sizzlers. Thank you. This looks beautiful. I got a big steak here. Jordan got a steak as well.
A little steak as well, 200 grams. I don't recommend it. That's very tiny. Yep.
It is small.
Really,
It's
yep.
very small. But
Sentiments exactly.
still looks delicious. And the salad bar is, I mean, it is endless.
But not delicious, but endless. And in the end, isn't that better?
Thanks, Sizzlers.
All right, so now e-bullying. We're talking e-bullying. This is in response again to last week where Robbie and I were called gay, and now Robbie's been called
gone too
fuckwit.
far.
I've been called gay again. The petition's
I don't know. I think these jokers just want to get called out. They just want to...
And it works.
Yeah,
it works.
look.
This is what we're sending out as a Friendlyjordies podcast. Please don't send us comments about how good we are. We know this. What we want to know instead is whether you think Robbie or Tom are gay or not.
Not
And if
Jordan, though. We don't know about
that's-
Jordan.
That's fine.
No
We've got
comments
enough-
about you.
We've got
No
enough
comment.
Reddit subreddits.
gay as Jordan.
I think that's like been very established on the deep net. We don't need to discuss that at all anymore. But we do need to quantify how gay Robbie and Tom are. So keep them coming, and we'll keep making segments like this week, which is, because this is the Sean Cannery edition, Can Jordan Cancel? Where I'm going to find out whether I can make Tom and Robbie feel better and at the same time educate everyone out there as to whether or not it's okay to cyberbully, as our parents would call it. I don't think anyone in our generation uses the word cyber anymore, but just so we're all on the same page.
That's so true, yeah. Cyber is a long gone term, isn't it?
Interesting.
I think the
let's
last...
move on.
No, I know why you want to move on, Tom, because it's really painful
It's
what
hard.
happened. Because now you're on a total tally of, I think, 3 negative comments to you, and Robbie, you're on 11 negative comments.
I don't know if you got the numbers right.
Yeah, you just make these numbers
I don't
up.
think you got them right at
pull
all.
them out.
You pull the shit out of your
Yeah, you pull shit out of your ass, don't you, mate?
Admit it.
Yeah, freely. I really didn't research this at all. I'm just trying to fill up 10 minutes, guys.
There's no, like, restriction to time here. All right.
God. Why is this falling to bits?
Yeah.
Well, we don't know yet. Because we could get something out of this.
Okay.
For everybody out there who's ever been e-bullied and cyberbullied, and they feel that they can't go on anymore, we're here to teach everybody that there's victims in cyberbullying. You can't do this and not hurt people's feelings. Because I was in the car with both of these fully grown men. Both of them have beards, and even though they are younger than me, they clearly look older and are probably going to die before me if you look at their diets.
Oh, my Lord. Yeah,
Am I working? Am I working?
Yeah.
All right,
Here's my mic
that's
on.
good. I'm the counselor of this situation. I'm trying to make you guys feel
You're
better
gonna die
about
early.
yourselves. Now, what we need to ask is, Robbie, how did that make you feel when you got called a fuckwit?
When I first read it, I'd just woken up from an afternoon nap. And I just thought, I'm just going to check this, because the comments have been pretty positive.
Because everyone's saying that
And I just wanted-
never lose hope, Robbie.
Yeah, I
I think
know.
you're great. Tom's gay, though. I think that one came first. That somebody liked Robbie and just singled out Tom, and that was his piece of hate.
Yeah, people have been really nice. And then I read that and I just wanted to go back to sleep.
And how did it make you feel later on when you found out that Jordan, your designated counsellor that you're talking to right now, was the first person to like that comment?
I immediately sent you a message saying...
He stormed into my room and was like,
That's not... You weren't there.
No,
You weren't-
tell me, Tom.
He wasn't
Look, we're in
home.
a safe zone. We need to discuss this.
Why did you make that?
I didn't make that up.
You were not home.
Oh, well, as soon as I saw you, there was a very...
Oh, right, okay.
Okay, so both sides
Stormed
of this
into my
story can't both be true. Someone's telling a lie. Who was it? It was Tom. Tom just bullshit.
I didn't bullshit, that's true.
My apologies. It turns out Tom's story was true.
Oh, I don't know.
Well,
Whatever.
to be honest,
Move
who
on.
cares? I can't.
Move on.
I just woke up, felt shit, and then just lay there for a bit. Is that enough, Jordan?
Is that what you want?
Yeah, is that what you want
You want to rip him down?
Yeah, that's enough for you. Now, Tom, how did it make you feel when someone called you double gay?
Double gay. Yeah, pretty bad. Like, I don't know what you really want out of this. Like, just feels shit. Just feel really bad for a while. Like, it only takes one comment and yeah.
And
now we're
if that
scared to
guy,
check the
if that
comments.
guy was here, we don't know who his name is because again we haven't bothered to look it up and we're not going to. You don't deserve the recognition because if you're a bully, you're fully.
Go on.
Fully? Rhyme dictionary not found. That's all that came up in my brain just then. Now, if he was here though, what would you say to him?
Oh, this is at me. I guess I would be, I'd just say, well, like, you give it a go, mate. Like, it's easy to just sit there behind your computer and do that, isn't it? But
Can't wait to hear your pod.
yeah, let's hear your pod, bud. Yeah.
Tom was sort of joking in his demeanour just then. But can I just point out, he does clearly feel better now that he got it off his chest that he got to say
Yeah,
that.
so
You
you're-
try it out. You try it out.
All right, now we're going on to Goosebumps. Robbie, let's hear it.
So people decided to go with the experiment for $50.
Did they? I
Yeah.
thought they picked the other one.
No.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
about to do
sorry,
the
you would
experiment.
know. Sorry to waste your time.
Okay. $50? Sam exclaims. His eyes light up. Great, you say, grinning. What do we have to do? Dr. Eek will explain it to you, Vanessa replies mysteriously. Follow me. You follow Vanessa into a long hallway. The place is empty. Eerily empty. Closed doors line both sides of the hall. Vanessa's high heels click on the tiled floor as she leads the way. Where is she taking you? Finally, she stops in front of a door with triple locks. There's an intercom box on the wall beside the door. She pushes the button. Yes? A man's voice crackles. They're here, Vanessa announces. Why is she acting as if they were expecting you?
Yeah.
I got you! I got you!
Are you serious?
Break the Tom and I have been pulling off here! Suck it, Robbie! Now you know what it feels like! Now you know what it feels!
Robbie always points out the window and distracts us when we're talking. It's your turn.
Suck on that, Robbie! Yeah!
Jordan
Jordan has just flashed Robbie. I don't know why nobody else tried to get their composure together. This place has just fallen a bit. Can you do the John Claude Van Cannon? Sorry, it's called Short Cannery.
All right, go on.
Why did you whip your penis? Why did you do that? Did the person in Studio A see that?
No, I don't think so.
Is there anyone there?
Oh my
Oh, she is.
God.
She's bloody
Yeah, she's
talking.
there, yeah.
She's on here.
that.
All right, keep going, Robbie.
All right, go, Robbie.
Holy.
Compose yourself.
Click. You hear an electronic lock unlocking. Then another. And another. The door swings open. You peer into the room. It's pitch black. Come in, a voice says from the darkness. Let me just go to the page. You step into the dark room. A light flashes on. Well, what have we here? Says an older man in a white lab coat. He has grey hair and a soft, pudgy face. Our next 2 appointments, Vanessa explains. She tucks a strand of long brown hair behind her ear. They're here for the raster experiment. Really? The man says. He pushes his wrinkled face right up to within an inch of your nose. He stares you in the eye. You try to gaze away. There's something odd about him, about one of his eyes. It looks as if his right cheek has been pulled up to meet the eye and then stapled there. It gives him a weird squint. Then you notice something. His lab coat is on backward. I'm Dr. Eek, and are you sure you're here for the raster experiment? The man says. Yeah, definitely, Sam insists. What do we have to do? That all depends, Dr. Eek says with an evil-sounding laugh. What are you willing to do?
Do the evil-sounding laugh.
Dr. Eek is...
Scared me.
Dr. Eek is too weird, you decide. You start to back out of the room, but Sam still has dollar signs in his eyes. Where are you going? Sam whispers to you. Out of here, you declare. No way, he insists. I'm staying until I get the money. Dr. Eek grins. He can tell you are having second thoughts. How bad can it be? Sam mutters under his breath. I mean, seriously, your mum works here. It's got to be a safe place, right? You nod half-heartedly. But where is your mum anyway? As if he can read your mind, Dr. Eek speaks up. Actually, he says, I'm not sure you're right for the raster experiment. I think you two are more suited to something. He lets his voice trail off. Else. He finally says. This sounds worse every minute. If you do whatever Dr. Eek tells you to do, turn to page 25. If you
chicken out.
If you chicken out, turn to page 17. So, do what he wants or chicken out. Comment below.
The book with an insane monkey on the front that's pouring acid onto his paw, I think. It didn't disappoint.
No,
every single chapter so far has been just as underwhelming as what you would expect a book like that to be.
And that's brought to you by Lonely Kids Club, which, by the way, we're currently doing our big merchandise sale of our Yilmaz hoodies, which I'm currently wearing one.
Looking a lot like a rapper's manager that has no success, will have a mild amount of success, but only in the ARIA charts. It will probably win Best Production, Best Song 1 year, and it'll seem like it's going to be, finally, Australia's going to have a 2-pack, you know?
Breakout, yeah.
But no, it's going to be Australia's Scribe. So if you want one of those jumpers, we got them.
Go to lonelykidsclub.com and... yeah, $40 for a tee, $60 for a hoodie. Screw anyone that thinks that's expensive because it's all Australian made, Australian printed. It's all ethically made. So,
oh, God, he really does. He looks so much... It makes me feel so much more ethnic than I am. And I am 50% ethnic, but I feel like I'm 70% at least when I've got a white angry guy sitting there going, "You think that's too expensive? Screw you. It's Australian made."
ethical.
But yeah, I agree with that sentiment, Robbie. You never really say many mean things, but what do you say to people that agree with child slave labour to save $5 on a T-shirt? What do you say to them?
Just think twice before saying mean things.
The voice of moderation. No wonder he's in charge of the buttons.
All right, we're going to move on from child slave labour to can Tom do this? Put a foot in his mouth.
Great. I've been looking forward to this for the 20 minutes before this pod started. So I've been looking forward to it for approximately 54 minutes now.
It couldn't be 54 minutes, but
it's 34 seconds.
Yeah, it's 34 minutes and 48 seconds.
Okay,
all right, let's move on.
Dude, Tom putting a foot in his mouth, which is slightly more entertaining than reading the time of this pod.
All right, there we go.
Tom knows how to... Yep, here we go.
I reckon I can actually do
Robbie, some Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music, if you will. Mm-hmm. And because we went to Sizzlers, if he does it, make a Sizzler sound effect. If he doesn't, make that sound that Skype does when you can't call somebody successfully. You go, I stayed up and checked out what the time was in Germany to ring up my friend that I do care about, but I'm getting very, very less friendly with because she's been away for 8 months now.
All right, there we go. Ready?
Okay, Tom has put in 1 toe, 3 toes, 4, 5 toes.
Yep.
Now the big challenge begins because that's his home and he's finished. He's out. Looks like Tom can't do it.
That was pretty good, though. 5 toes in my mouth.
Are you proud of that?
Yeah. I bet
That was 10% of your foot.
Robbie can't cross his legs. Let alone do
Well, that segment went incredibly short. So, Robbie, let's try it now.
Can Robbie cross his legs?
Live?
Go on. Properly, though.
Give it a go.
You don't have to sit down
And
for it.
he's on the ground. Yes, you can.
Oh, actually, no. Yeah, do it like when you're in year 2, like, and you have to sit on the floor.
Yeah, okay.
And when everybody says, I'm not starting the lesson until everyone crosses their legs.
See, you can't do it. It hurts, he says.
Robbie, stop clowning around. Stop clowning around or you go to the principal.
It hurts.
It hurts. How crazy
Go on,
is that?
do it. Yeah, the teacher knows that he can't cross his leg and it actually is hurting. Go on. You don't want to see the principal, do you, Robbie?
I got sent to the principal when I was in primary school for eating the wrong way, eating left-handed.
Like a knife and fork in the wrong hand.
My mum had
That
to write a
is
letter.
so backwards. New Zealand is so far behind us.
That was
You
in
stopped
England.
getting sent to the principal. Really?
Yeah.
Wow, the colony won out. The only time I've ever heard of anybody getting in trouble for using their left appendage was in old Sydney town,
That's right.
which is when we were colonised.
Yeah.
That was the last time. That was when we stopped whipping people for using a left hand.
What did the principal say to you?
Just like it's not done here. All my peers were like giving me such a hard time about it.
What the hell?
And so they should. Did you
Well,
learn your ways, or are you still left-handed
he still
now?
does
Still do it.
You're still, as what they call in surfboards rackets, goofy-handed.
Yeah.
I stand by it though. I think it makes way more sense.
Yeah, we got into a bit of a tiff last night about that. But
Did you punch him?
No, I didn't punch him.
Would have been a really good end to that story.
Yes, I did.
All right, to punch him now.
Can
Yeah,
Tom
alright.
punch Robbie?
Yeah, come on, let's do it.
Man, this is.
Oh my!
Why is this whole thing?
Why is this happening?
Why is this whole thing stuck?
Don't worry, let's not do it. I feel really bad. I felt like as soon as Tom said, "Yeah, all right," there's like a cold sweat went through my body of just, holy shit, I'm sitting next to a psychopath.
He's going to do it. He's going to do it.
Wearing me on his shirt.
It's so great for the pod.
Yeah.
For the pod.
Ow!
Okay.
What is it? What's the
Now
next
we're going
segment?
on to... We're going on a special trip somewhere that Jordan had mentioned earlier in the pod. Where is it? Robbie?
I don't know why you're giving it to Robbie, because the segment was supposed to be Robbie's interesting facts.
Yeah,
and he
Robbie-
was supposed to Google what the second largest rock in Australia is. And the question is, are we going to the second biggest rock in Australia, or are we going to the first biggest rock in Australia? Robbie will just give you the names of both of them, and then we'll give you a little bit of waiting time, and you decide.
Okay, Robbie, what's the
But
name
you
of
don't
the-
actually decide. We've already decided way in advance. But you're all coming on the trip with us via the airwaves.
What's the second largest rock in Australia?
Bald Rock.
That's right, Belt Rock. And what's the largest?
He's done it 4 times now.
More than that.
It reminds me a lot. You know when your dad just has like a slightly hard to pronounce name of your friend, like, how's Miss Love? Miss Love. Yeah, whatever. It's been 6 years. Just learn. It's not that hard.
Whatever.
You've said it at least 30 times at this point.
All right, so we've got Belt Rock, or we've got... First one?
Uluru.
Uluru.
That's
And-
right. That is the largest rock in Australia. For those, probably Robbie, who doesn't know that. Everybody else would have, because they're probably all Australian, but we don't know that either. So just in case, maybe not.
We're
Anyway.
going to Uluru.
It was complete. You didn't need to know about bald rock, but you do now. You just remember that, especially if you've got a premature balding head, that's what your head's going to look like in a few years. The rock on the border of Queensland and New South Wales that makes that little bump. I'm imagining it's that big.
Yeah, so we're going on a special pod trip. So even though, once again, this isn't a visual medium at all, we're going to be recording from Uluru, and hopefully it sounds slightly different, but...
And we really want on board, if anybody has connections to this, but we would really like Wet and Wild to sponsor us in Uluru.
Or Whitewater World.
Or, frankly,
any
anyone.
water-based Tom
This is
said
a
it.
call.
This actually is a call out. We are desperately asking people for sponsorship. So if you own a corporation and you want to shout out to thousands of Aussies just like you.
Here's the situation. Jeep have given us 2 cars to take to Uluru to drive there, but they're cheaping out on us and they're not going to give us petrol or pay for anything, basically, besides the body of the car.
Which they own anyway, and they're going to put straight back onto the show reel as soon as it comes back. So Jeep Grand Cherokee or cheap Grand Cherokee? We've already decided. Time for you to do it in the comments.
Yeah,
Now,
screw you, Jeep. So we need a sponsor that can pay for the petrol.
because this is actually legitimate Jeep. Jeep is sponsoring us, and Tom just yelled into the microphone, "Screw you, Jeep!"
So if anyone's gonna, if anyone
Gave us
has,
two $80,000 cars for 2 weeks, and he's told them to fuck off.
all right. If anyone, so if anyone knows anyone that works at a company that might want to sponsor the podcast, we're doing really well. Lots of people listen to it. We can
Top 10,
spruik anything.
Top 10. Thanks to you guys
Yeah, so we can spruik
and us.
anything.
We do a bit.
So, yeah.
Joint effort.
So yeah, let us know. Okay.
No, now we're going to do Tom's segment of Can Tom do an improv spruik?
Oh,
That's what we're doing. To show you how good we are at advertising,
okay.
Tom is going to advertise the first thing that comes to Robbie's head, and he's going to do a little quick readout as soon as Robbie says the next word out of his mouth.
Cigarettes.
What is this episode of Mad Men?
Incredibly illegal.
Yeah.
Good choice.
So yeah, if you
Do it,
sponsor
Rob.
us, you get something like this. Hey Jordan,
Yeah, Tom.
do you want to go outside and have a smoke?
Oh, isn't smoking bad for you? I heard that it causes cancer, emphysema, kills a lot of babies apparently. Secondhand smoke is also a huge hazard that has been scientifically proven for over 40 years. But you still want to have one?
Yeah, sure do.
So do I. And I think I had a cigarette today.
All right, so that's the
Comment
kind of
below.
thing you'll get.
Yeah.
So if you have any kind of sponsorship inquiries, even yourself, if you just want to be shouted out constantly for like a few minutes,
$5,000.
just pay for our petrol. All right.
Give us a petrol card and we'll say your name once.
All right, next segment. Can you guess which one of us has herpes?
All right. Time for everybody. This is going to be a Guess Who segment because one of us does indeed have herpes. And we can probably assume that the golden dragon, not because of his... I'm not saying that he has got...
I don't know what you're gonna finish.
Finish it, Jordan. It's like, no, it can be. It's the type of herpes that's on your lips. So the golden dragon could have herpes, all right?
The thing, he might not because he
Robbie
breathes
is
fire, so
so
he's probably
shocked.
burnt the herpes off his mouth. But that might be why in a lot of photographs, particularly the one that we're going to post up of Sizzlers, and if you zoom in, you'll see that none of us have herpes. Maybe that's the reason why Robbie doesn't have herpes at the moment, because he can breathe fire off them. But he's been making out with a lot of chicks in his mind. None of the dates that he's asked for coffee have succeeded properly, but they still, like he's out there, and we don't know this. This is we're doctors at the same level as doctors in the bubonic plague, i.e. we've got no medical expertise whatsoever, so for all we know, it could be caused by bad winds from Spain.
Yeah. Call him back.
Please just respond, please.
Just a text. Jesus.
It is just a text. Come on. Look,
How long does it take to say, yeah, Splendor was good?
Yeah, come on. Like, just be polite. Jeez. All right. Final
yeah,
segment.
she listens to this pod, so she will hear that.
Hopefully.
checked your phone quite a lot during the day.
All right.
Robbie was telling us that story of not responding with quite a broad smile on his face, but you could see the twitches on the side of his mouth, meaning that it was hard. It was hard.
All right. Final segment is... do you want to explain it? Ocean's 12, how does it work?
Is this to do with a conspiracy of programmed what's it called? Predictive programming. Yeah. So it's like you know, they throw something into the public consciousness, such as the September 11 attack, and then when it happens, it's not necessarily that much of a surprise to people. It kind of confirms something they already have sitting in their subconscious. Is that
so?
correct?
You're not shocked by it, or what's the point of that?
The point of predictive programming is to, one, because as everybody knows, the Illuminati is a magic organization.
We all know.
Yep. You thought Hogwarts was magic. It is.
You would be right.
But so is the Illuminati, apparently, according to Alex Jones and other people. What they do as a result of that is to show everybody what they're about to do that's very sinister and evil. So say they're going to invade Iraq, they will put that in, I don't know, Glee. Who knows? Yeah. Even though it wasn't around then. But yeah, the pilot might have been floating around and the producers saw it, and it's just this one guy that knew about it in Hollywood that was bastioning everybody in the White House going, "You've got to listen to me. They're going to invade Iraq." At which point George Bush turns around and says, "I know. Oh my God. This is all the way to the president."
All the way to the top.
Yeah, there's some sus CIA dude just standing on the studio lot of Glee, just being like, "Hey, you know what could be funny? Why don't we just mention 9/11 in Iraq? I don't know, that could be funny." And then they just do it, and then that's how
that's predictive programming for you.
Yeah, so that's the segment.
So if you understood what we were talking about, I barely do. We
I don't think any of us do.
We're not even sure if that's correct.
Or if that's the word or anything about it. So
the point is, Robbie saw Ocean's 11 and he liked the movie. And that's why this segment exists. Because he freeze-framed on it in underwear, Fruit Loops flinging off his belt, milk soaking into his underpants. And so, like, you thought I flashed the pod, he flashed us IRL. He started it. He came in to us. Jordan, in this completely made-up situation, is the third housemate in Tom and Robbie's house. I live in the cupboard. So he came in, knocked on the little kitchen cupboard and went, "Jordan, come out." And I was going, "No, I'm eating a squid." And then took us into the room, showed us a picture that we've put up on Instagram. So follow us on that. And he freeze-framed it. There is a dead-on splitting image of all three of us in Ocean's 12. We are in Ocean's 12. They predicted that we existed. This is how
after
insidious...
we did exist.
Yeah.
This is why the Illuminati is clearly magic.
Yeah.
There's so much magic in that.
And to draw the next connection, Ocean's 12 was about stealing, so we're going to steal the airwaves from the live on-air FBI session that's happening right now by a vote of which one of us
who goes there.
has to go in, and I vote Robbie.
I also, having discussed this with my good colleague Tom, it's with a heavy heart, while Robbie was in the toilet and unable to defend himself, and we made a secret cabal, very Illuminati style, that I also vote for Robbie. You will be going into the FBI studio live and you will be saying the following to steal FBI's limelight in the middle of the night when no one's listening anyway. You're going to walk in and you're going to say, "Hey, do you know where the... Oh, you're on air. Sorry. And then close the door. And then we will get the footage of that.
Okay.
And we'll splice that into the pod.
Okay.
The audio, yeah. All right, Robbie, go.
Is he on air now?
Yep.
Yeah, she's on it. I think.
Is she talking?
I don't know.
So I say, do you know where the... Oh,
sorry. Do you know where... Oh, sorry. You're on it.
Okay, so Robbie is opening up the first soundproof door and not closing it. Very professional stuff. Okay, he heard that. Great.
Hi.
That is a big step up.
He's walking into the other
fast.
studio.
That's why we've got him on the buttons. This guy knows how to close doors.
Hi, sorry, do you know where the... Oh, sorry, you're on air. Sorry, I didn't realise. Oh, it's like... Sorry about that.
Jordan is dancing.
Oh my God, it feels good. We are Robin Hoods, stealing from the airwave rich and giving to the airwave poor. We've got none until now, but you've captured it, mate. And I shake your hand, Rob. What does it feel like to shake the hand of a champion? Very sweaty, very clammy.
Next, the Bellagio.
Oh my God.
We did it. We proved that Ocean's 12 is predictive programming. We have a master thief amongst our realm.
What happened, Robbie? What happened?
Well, I've recorded it, so we can just show it if you want. I mean, what?
Good point.
I just walked
Let's
in.
do that.
I just walked in and said what you told me to, and she was very flustered. And
Was she on there, do you think?
I think,
Judging by your accounts, because she looked like so beetrooty at that point. I don't know if you've ever seen the show, the hit Disney cartoon Doug, but there was a girl that Doug liked, the other girl that was in that. There was only two.
Yeah.
She had a very beetroot-looking face, and I guess what I'm saying is that she was not as beetrooty as that, because that's a cartoon, but quite beetrooty.
Do you mean like blushing? Is that what you mean?
word you're looking.
Just wanted to bring up Doug. It's a really good cartoon.
All right, that brings us to the end of the pod. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much for listening to that incredible 26th edition.
Sean Cannery.
Yeah, thanks to FBI, and
Please don't kick us out.
And if I may use probably one of the most obnoxious ways to sign off ever, that I've listened to the After Drive Home team on Today FM do the girl
Emma
saying,
Friedman.
and do you know what I'm about to do, Tom? Maybe I'll just let you do it.
No, I don't know what you're doing.
Okay, she always does this. Bye!